Tuesday morning. Welcome to the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. Hi, everyone. I'm Jason DeRusha. Great to have you with us. We appreciate this time we get to spend together every day as we bring you up to date on today's weather forecast. And if you look outside, we've got this kind of, I don't know, it's weird to talk about is it snow? Is it rain? It's a little of each, right? It looks like it's coming down as snow and it's kind of landing as water. So you'll just see a little bit of mess out there. No real problems on the roads or anything. So if you're going to get a morning snowfall, rainfall thing, this is pretty good. It should dry out today. It'll be warm-ish. So the snow, whatever accumulates on the grass or the shoulders, should melt. Clouds, yeah, they're going to linger today. Should be nice for Thanksgiving, though. 45 the high, mostly sunny, so that should be a nice day. All right, let's talk about this. This is the time of year you get the official words of the year, and you think, man, what a year for that this year, right? 2020? Oh, you could go like COVID-related. You could go election-related. The Oxford English Dictionary said, we can't do it. We can't pick a word of the year. Instead, they pick like a word for every month. Here are some of them. They started with bushfire, which is dumb. Okay, Australia had a bad fire season. Stupid. Like everyone was saying bushfire. Come on. Acquittal, also dumb. After President Trump's impeachment trial ended in February. Like that's the word of the year or of the month? Acquittal? COVID-19 should be the word of the year, right? Completely new word. First recorded on February 11th. These are good ones, too. Lockdown, social distancing, that could have been good. Reopening spiked in use. Those came in March. What about Zoom? Now, they picked Zoom ready. Remote, like remote working. I don't know. Zoom would be a pretty good word of the year. In June, Black Lives Matter exploded in use. Last month, super spreader. That's pretty good, super spreader. So we wanted to turn it over to you. Pick a word for 2020. I've kind of said some of the ones that I think are maybe better. Coronavirus, impeachment, lots of choices here. You describe 2020 in one word. Pick your word of the year, and we'll share through some of your comments in just a minute. Let's get you up to date on the news for this Tuesday morning. The governor does plan on rolling out a relief program to help employees and small businesses all over Minnesota. So the governor's going to announce a plan at 10:30. There will be direct relief for individual workers, also sales tax forgiveness. Governor Walz says he'll call a special session to try to get this pushed through as soon as the legislature agrees on a package, to which, so this is the governor's turn, 10:30. We'll have it live on CCO, also streaming on CBSN Minnesota. Republicans are announcing their plan at 9:30 this morning, so watch for lots of developments on this today. Minnesota did report another 24 people killed by COVID-19 yesterday, another 6,300 positive tests. When you look at that positivity rate, we're at about 11.3%. That's more than twice the 5% goal, and for a couple of weeks now, we've been in that double-digit area. High rate at some hospitals doing what we see them do like around flu season, where they say we're not going to take visitors anymore. CentraCare, which conveniently is in largely the centra of the state, says no more visitors. They'll let people in if you have a loved one who's dying or critically ill, or if you're a parent and you need to be there for your child. But those visitors will be screened for signs of COVID before being allowed inside the facility. Very windy on the day we got that video, it seems. Minnesota families rushing to get their COVID-19 test before Thanksgiving. This was my family's original plan. We were going to quarantine for 2 weeks, other than me coming to work, which perhaps ruins the quarantine, and then go get tested. Last night we went to this test site in Burnsville. Saw lots of people there. Experts say, you know, a negative test doesn't mean you don't have it. I have a friend who tested negative and then 5 days later tested positive. It doesn't mean it's safe, but because it can take up to 2 weeks for someone to test positive after an exposure. I went to one of those saliva testing centers yesterday just to get a test. No symptoms, but just wanted to do it since I'm around people at work, and it was super smooth, 20 minutes in and out. But I did see a lot of families there, so I'm sure people think they're going to get that clean bill of health and then go ahead and do Thanksgiving. More of Minnesota's major hospitals and healthcare systems are coming together, and they're just trying to get the message out. And they said, all right, we've thrown all the data at people, and it doesn't really work. And so we've thrown like emotional stories at people, and it works a little better. What about this? 2 posters released. One shows this healthcare worker, full PPE. The caption, "We're not the front line, you are. We're your last chance." And then this, in advance of Thanksgiving, is Grandma's pumpkin pie really to die for? Yeah, kind of a little more aggressive. Doctors say, look, we have to be aggressive because our hospital's ability to take care of people is being strained because of lack of staff.
Last week, almost 7,000 hospital healthcare workers were out on one day. That limits our capacity to care for hospitalized patients, both COVID and not COVID.
Some medical professors say stories are more effective than statistics. We kind of get numb to the data. So the idea is that by sharing people's experiences, fighting the disease, our compassion and empathy for our neighbors and our friends will make us act differently. Minnesota did launch a new app. We talked a little bit about this yesterday to warn Minnesotans of potential exposure to COVID-19. The technology here, I think, is cool. I've downloaded it. I've talked to computer experts and privacy experts who say this thing is pretty great. It's better than everything else on your phone. How effective this is going to be, I don't know. You need like almost everybody to download it. It's called COVID Aware, so download it. Don't be afraid. You've got a million other things on your phone that are tracking everything you do. This does not track you personally. It uses codes that keep changing. And so the way it works is you kind of download it. If you test positive, you stick your code into the app, and then the app alerts people who are within 6 feet of you. Dr. Reggae, who's a computer science expert, said, as I did, that everybody's got to download it to make it work. So we'll see. The other thing is you have to, if you test positive, they give you a code and you have to enter it in. You got to do it. It's not going to tell everyone, hey, Russia tested positive. It's not going to report anything to the government, but that's how it works. So we'll see. Minnesota high school athletes are still in limbo this morning, as you might expect. State High School League had a meeting yesterday, and they really couldn't provide many answers or make decisions. Thousands of winter athletes and winter sports up in the air, spring sports as well. Governor shut sports down for 4 weeks. And so if winter sports came back into action, the earliest they'd really be back would be December 19th. And then you run right into Christmas break. So the question becomes, how many games? What is this? How long would this season be? What would the playoffs look like? Could you even do playoffs with this super short season? Board meets again on December 3rd. 3 weeks after the election, the presidential transition has officially begun. The White House signing off on starting the process. Today, Minnesota will certify our general election results. State Canvassing Board meets this afternoon. It's pretty boring stuff, standard procedure, but we have had a number of close elections where this becomes a little more interesting. Joe Biden handily won Minnesota, not close on the presidential race. Still President Trump, even though he's green-lit the process to start the transition, he is saying he's not conceding. He's just trying to do what's best for the country to at least get things started. Okay, are you ready to make plans for the 2021 Minnesota State Fair? Will there be a fair? I think there will be. They're doing a flash sale today for admission tickets. So it's only today. Now, you know, tickets usually cost $15. And if you buy early, like if you go to Cub or whatever, it's $12. Today you can get them for $10. It's a limit of 12 per customer, but if you have a family of 4, like that's 3 days at the fair, and you're saving $5 a crack. So you can find them at the Minnesota State Fair website. All right, we get back to today's talker, the word of the year. Oxford English Dictionary picked 1 million words because they're a bunch of cowards. Bunch of cowards. What do you expect from the English? Please. Dictionary. Cheryl Quick, quarantine. Yep, Cheryl, good. That's a good. I would have stand that if they picked that word. Pivot. Oh, Cindy, very good. Pivot. Businesses pivoting, people pivoting. That's a very good word of the year. Spencer Rake says crazy. Yep. It has been a crazy year. Leah Fink, online learning. Yep. Yeah, that's been, I think for parents, that's been for sure the number one driving stressor of the year. Cindy says disappointment. I know it, Cindy. I feel you. I haven't seen my family in Chicago since last December. Ugh, it's painful. Mask? Yeah, that's good, Brian. It has been the year of the mask. And Darla says isolated. It has been isolating, hasn't it? We're all in this together, but we feel so apart. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's been a tough year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are silver linings, of course, but the overall reality of this year after St. Patrick's Day in March is it sucked. It's been a sucky year. It's true. So we're all in that together. There's your uplifting message from your morning news friend. Thanks for watching CBSN. Well, at least we're all going through it. It's not you, right? It's not me. It's all of us going through this. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the morning update.